Welcome to Choose Your Own Adventure Book Club. This week we are reading Secret of the Ninja. We are not going to read the whole book, but you can come to the library and check it out, and then you'll be able to choose your own path all the way through. Sarah and I are going to read up until your first choice, and then we'll show you how to do some crafts. So, beware and warning, this book is different from other books. You and you alone are in charge of what happens in this story. There are dangers, choices, adventures, and consequences. You must use all of your numerous talents and much of your enormous intelligence. The wrong decision could end in disaster, even death. But don't despair. At any time, you can go back and make another choice. Alter the path of your story and change its result. On a visit to your friend Nada's dojo in Japan, strange forces seem to be present. Winds howl on calm, clear days, lightning appears out of nowhere, freakish sounds are heard at night. Is it coincidence, or the arrival of a mysterious samurai sword sent by an anonymous donor? Nada thinks the sword is cursed, but who ever heard of a sword possessed by a demon? You agree to undergo a trance to help find out, with devastating results. Should you and Nada go back in time to feudal Japan to find the sword's owner and solve the mystery for good? Can you learn the ways of the ninja needed to do it? If you leave, will you ever return? Or will you fall into the grasp of the dreaded Sanshiro Miyamotori? Good luck.
Okay. Thunder crashes and lightning splits the sky above you with such force it seems the sky will shatter. You run for cover. Rain pours down in sheets, pounding you like a fist. The storm seems to want to destroy everything beneath it. Once inside the sliding doors of the dojo, you stand with your friend Nada, both of you soaked to the skin, and watch the storm vent its rage. Another tremendous clap of thunder shakes the building to its foundation.
Ooh. Nada casts a sidelong glance at you as if to say, "See what I mean?" The two of you sit cross-legged on the floor, unable to take your eyes from the tempest outside. "Third one this week," Nada murmurs, "and this is the dry season." The thunder and lightning finally give way to a steady downpour. Nada stands up and says, "Let's get you some dry clothes." You follow her to a back room where she hands you a towel and a kimono. As you dry off and change, you retrace in your mind the history of your friendship with Nada. You'd studied karate in California before spending a summer in Japan. There you met Nada and found you shared many ideas about martial arts. She introduced you to a new discipline called Aikido.
Sounds right.
Aikido. A year ago, you moved to the city of Kyoto to pursue Aikido more intensively. You and Nada became best friends. You were sad when Nada returned 3 months ago to her family's dojo in Nara, but you have kept in close touch. Now, as you tie your kimono and prepare to join Nada for tea, you wonder why she called you so urgently to Nara this morning. So there you are with your friend Nada.
Strange things have been happening here, Nada says, pouring hot water over the crushed leaves in the teacups. The storms are just one sign that something is wrong. There have been others. With a reed whisk, she stirs the leaves into a green froth in each cup, then gives you one. You hold it with both hands, letting the warmth seep in. But even without the signs, she says, I can sense a presence here that is new, yet at the same time ancient. You savor the bitter taste of the tea and look across the low table at Nada. Maybe you should start from the beginning. Nada shifts her weight on the reed mat. About a month ago, I started noticing things disappearing and reappearing in odd places. Then there were weird noises, shrieks, laughter. Now this week, the thunder. By themselves, these do not prove anything. It is Saki, which tells me there is a very powerful force here that wants to destroy us. Saki? A kind of sixth sense I learned in my training many years ago. I can feel the presence of harmful intentions. Did anything else happen around the time these signs appeared? Any new arrivals or changes in the dojo?
Spooky things are afoot. Thank you. No, wait, yes, there was a new arrival, but not a student. It was a sword. An anonymous donor sent it to us, saying it was fitting that we should have it. We didn't know what to think. Was there anything unusual about it? You ask. To tell the truth, I didn't pay much attention. As you know, I'm not a big fan of weapons, although I have to admit it was beautiful. There were some odd markings on the hilt. Have you talked to the sensei yet? A little. He refuses to believe we are threatened, but now that you're here, I will ask him to join us.
The sensei is a slight man with a few wisps of white hair on his head and chin. He bows as Nada introduces you, then sits at the tea table, back straight, waiting for Nada to speak. Surely you are aware of what has been occurring at our dojo lately, she begins. Yes, he replies in an even tone, but we've discussed this. In my opinion, it will pass if we remain calm. Didn't you hear the thunder today? Nada insists impatiently. It is true that in the old days such a storm was taken as a sign of war, but he shrugs. Nada stands up. Sensei, we must do something. A presence here wants to destroy us. The sensei looks at you. Surely Nada's mother could see into the future when she named her child. Do you know what Nada means? Doesn't it mean the rough, open part of the sea where navigation is difficult, you ask? Exactly, the sensei responds, smiling. But someday, perhaps, when she becomes sensei herself, she will learn patience.
Your attention is distracted by several greenish lights the size of fists flickering above the cypresses outside. What are those? You ask. As Nada and the sensei turn to look, a bolt of lightning comes from nowhere and strikes the tallest tree, splitting it in two. You cringe at the thunderclap that immediately follows. Then there is silence. The sensei looks stunned. Nada is bristling. Now are you convinced? She demands. What more do we need? That was our sacred tree. We must defend ourselves. The sensei bows his head. Nada, you are right. I did not think such things were possible. Thunder and lightning attacking us? You would think we were back in the days of our ancestors. Perhaps, Nada says, the days of our ancestors have come forward to us. What do you mean, Nada? The sensei asks. As I was telling my friend, I feel an ancient presence here. Saki tells me it is hostile. I don't know how else to explain it. It may be a kami. What's a kami, you ask? It's similar to a spirit, Nada says. Spirit never dies, only circulates. Everyone and everything has a spirit, and the spirit can filter through the world around us. If a kami is bothering us, it's our job to find out what it wants. We're finally to our first choice.
Okay. The sensei looks back and forth between you and Nada. Then he places his palms on the table and says, Nada, I am old now. You must be the one to confront this danger. You come from a long line of warriors, though for many centuries they have practiced their art for peace, not war. Nada bows to the sensei. So, he says, leaning back from the table, what course of action do you suggest? There is silence. The rain has stopped. You speak up. Maybe we should take a look at the sword and try to track down the person who sent it. The sensei nods. A good plan. There is another option, Nada says. She hesitates before continuing. I said the present seemed very old. We could go back in time to find its origin. The sensei glances sharply at Nada. She holds up her hand to stop him from speaking and says to you, I'll explain later. Let's just say we should consider it a possibility. So the first choice. If you think you should try to track down the donor of the sword, you'll turn to page 79. If you think it's a good idea to go back in time, turn to page 20.
I'm going back in time.
Yeah, that sounds kind of cool.
I know, right? So you guys get to choose which path you'll take. Come check it out from the library. Again, it's called Secret of the Ninja. And we can always help you place it on hold if you want to figure out what your path will be. So stay tuned and we'll show you some cool crafts. Okay, so you should have 5 popsicle sticks in your bag. Feel free to color and decorate them if you would like. For this ninja star, we're only actually going to use 4 of the sticks. There are other ways you can do this. So if you want to try making some more difficult designs, just Google popsicle stick ninja stars and you will find some instructions. All right, so for this one, we have 1 stick going straight like that. The other one's gonna go at an angle underneath of it. Then you'll have another stick that goes across the top of both. When you're looking at it, it almost looks like the number 4. All right, and then the last stick is gonna cross like this, but it needs to be under that stick, over this one, and under this one. So this is the tricky part. I'm gonna start by going like this, and you might have to readjust a couple times. pushing it through. All right. And then last, bring this one underneath.
You can tell that this isn't the easiest,
There we go.
but we're getting it.
Yeah, and as soon as it locks into place, you'll know. All right, so there's mine. Be careful, if you don't get it firmly locked in, it may explode back at you. So this is kind of my messy one, I guess. I made one earlier that looked like this. And then you can practice. Here, I'm gonna throw mine across the room.
Nice
Ooh,
throw.
thanks. It may explode if you throw it. So don't throw it at people or animals or plants or breakables.
Exactly.
All right, next we have a ninja stress ball. So you should have 2 balloons. And for this one, you do need scissors and a marker. If you have a permanent marker, that should work the best. You can also try using a pen over a washable marker. Okay. You also have a baggie full of flour. Edit this part out.
Cut.
Do you want your own baggie full of flour?
Yes, I would like to make one of these. I haven't bought anything today.
I know here's there.
I mean, I bought video games for the library.
Nice, okay. All right, you also have a bag of flour like this. So first thing you're gonna need to do is cut the straight part off of both of your balloons. So you just take your scissors and give them a snip. And I have to borrow your scissors. Thank you. Okay. Then you want to open up your bag of flour because you want all of the air out. You're going to kind of filter it down so it's all in one corner. With your scissors, you'll cut off the zippered part of your bag. And then you're going to kind of gather it together, twist it, and then just kind of tuck that little top part. Some flour might come out, and that's okay. But that's why you want to try and get all the air out. All right, the next step is to take, you should have either a white or a yellow balloon. Take that one, and you're gonna put your bag of flour inside. Now, the part that's open, that end, stick that into your balloon first so that it's really covered well. And you just kind of manipulate it until the whole bag fits. If for some reason your bag is just not fitting, you can always dump some of the flour out. But you should have something that looks like this.
There we go.
Yeah, you can squeeze it. Kind of feels like a stress ball. So again, if you don't like the texture of it, you can empty some out. All right. Then this part is going to go on top. You do need to cut like a little hood for your Ninja in, but I think it's going to be easier to do that once it's already on. You'll just have to be careful. So I'm going to put it so that the hole is covered. Okay. Yeah, speed on your Ninja. Stress like that. Okay. So then you just need to cut like a little rectangle in, and that's going to be where your Ninja's face peeks out. So you'll want to make sure you don't cut into the white or yellow balloon beneath. Yep, so Miss Sarah just kind of made a couple little slits. Might help if you kind of pull the top balloon loose a little bit and just cut a slit. Sweet. All right, that looks cool. So now it's time to draw your ninja's face. So Miss Sarah will work on drawing, and I'm gonna work on cutting. Also, when you're cutting, be really careful that you're cutting a small space, because if you cut too big, the top balloon will not stay on. And then you'll just have a funny face on a ball. My ninja looks like maybe his hood got into a fight. Nice.
Oh, he's tough. Or she.
All right, so there's mine. If you have different colors, you can use different colors. And then when you get stressed, you can give your stress ball a squeeze. What you should not do with your stress ball is throw it at anyone next to you, because that wouldn't be nice and would probably hurt a lot. It's just for letting out some stress.
Yes. Not flour, just stress.
Just stress. All right, that's it. Make sure you come to the library and check out Secret of the Ninja. Okay, I'll go to bed.
Okay.